Can you stop him though, Raikage? Dang. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope y'all are doing well. We're going to be getting into some more Shippuden today. I believe we're skipping over quite a few fillers, jumping to 282, I think. So, yeah, y'all, last time we had really good episodes, especially the first one with Naruto facing the temptation of the Nine Tail and the hatred and I don't know, man, just everything he's taken on, all this duty and responsibility to try to end this cycle of hatred. I love that all the themes that were established with the Pain arc especially are really at play here for Naruto's character with this war. And just the shinobi world in general, right? Like, this war is kind of coming out of that cycle of hatred in itself from, you know, our main antagonist, Madara here. So I'm enjoying kind of the continued themes of the show and of Naruto's character, man. Naruto is one of the most inspiring main characters I think I've watched in anime so far. Like, it's just, he's such like a good role model to, I don't know, to aspire to. You can really admire Naruto a lot as a character. Very well written. I've thoroughly enjoyed his growth from all the way from Naruto, the OG Naruto, to this point in Shippuden. I'm imagining it's going to even get crazier. So, but by the way, y'all, some of the patrons were mentioning that something that I could react to is the Road to Ninja movie. Let me know if any of y'all would be interested in that. I'm not sure if I should watch that now or if it matters when I react to, if I could watch it later. But let me know if any of y'all would be interested in a reaction to that. I'm thinking maybe it'd probably be a Patreon exclusive, but maybe I would let it for free. Get some of y'all in here. Get some of y'all other YouTubers in here. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe do a little bit of a movie category on the Patreon. That'd be sick. But yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and get this one. If y'all enjoy it, drop a like for me, comment, subscribe, all the good YouTube shit. Rig that algo for me. And yeah, let's go ahead and watch some Naruto together. It's crazy you can sense all of that, man. So they show up first. B's blushing hard. You shall not pass. Yeah.
ナルトすごいチャクラですね。ナルトを生かしてやってくれ。お願い。大概。何を言っている。お前たちを守る戦いだぞ。お前らが捕まれば。敵の術が完成したらこの世の終わりなんだろう。イルカ先生から聞いた。ならばなぜ行こうとする。大バカかお前らは。
He can't let his friends take on all of it.
俺たちを守るせいでみんながやられるのは我慢ならねえ。だが死んで戦争に勝って俺だけ生き残ったってそんなの意味ねえ。俺は嫌だ。世界が終わるよりマシだ。そう思い。お前を守るため犠牲。
Yeah, it's fair.
自分だけ傷つきもしねえでじっとしていられることできちゃいねえんだよ俺ってば。それに。死の子の言うな。お前は行かせん。
Can you stop him though, Raikage?
口で言ってダメなら。
He is fast as shit.
ついてこられんのか。なんだこのパンチ。むっちゃおめえ。
Dude, the Raikage is so dope.
砂手のばあちゃんなら分かってくれたろ。俺がこの戦争を止めてみせる。行かせてくれ。ばあちゃん。
She didn't originally want Naruto to be defended, right? She wanted him on the front lines with them. Yeah. Yeah. She kind of has her hands tied a bit.
Raikage のスピードと互角で動けるキュービチャクラモードがすごいと言える。伸びでわしより速い忍びがおらん。4代目ほかけがいなくなってから。父ちゃんを知ってんのか。手合わせは幾度となくしたものだ。とまで思わされる男だった。
He was that freaking good, dude.
ライアに予言の子、 救世主だ。
Oh, Minato, my favorite dude.
敵状況でいない。奴は九尾事件で失敗したからだ。ここからお前は息子として何も学んでいない。確定な可能性で物事を語るバカほど。そんなんで父ちゃんを知ってるって語るな。
そしてあなたが生まれた。湊はその時、俺も今日から父親だって泣いたのよ。それから湊は息子のためなら死んだっていい。
Yeah, you can't call that a failure, man. That was not a failure. Freaking protected the Leaf Village and the world.
それを止めるのはこの子だ。全てをナルト、あなたに託して死んだの。あなたを、
父ちゃん、
あなたを信じきって。
四代目火影はなんかしてねえ。どうしても行くというならこの場でお前を殺す。おい、ライカゲ。そうすれば九尾復活まで一時の間時間が稼げる。なるしな。死にたいようだな。
Damn, this is intense, dude. Dude, B.
助かりました。
8尾の俺が死んでも同じ。の計画とやらも台無し。俺の命を投資。
Come on, dude, B.
ノビ連合での相談もなしに勝手な自己判断はやめろ。俺は認めん。
わしはこの戦争で勝利しなければならない責任がある。そのためなら何でもするつもりだ。
あら、8尾の言う通り。なぜナルトの方を狙う。
その時が来れば合鍵として弟をやる覚悟を決める。だが今 B を殺すぐらいならナルトを殺す。人中力としての力なら自由玉をコントロールできる B の方が戦力になるからだ。
Yeah, it just sucks that like they're viewing them so much more as tools right now.
であって己でない存在だ。国のパワーバランスであり里の力であり国と里にとって特別な存在だ。お前ら個人の好き勝手にはいかん。立場を理解しろ。大バカどもが。そうかもしんねえが俺個人としてどうしても捨てられねえもん。
Yeah, I can't sacrifice your humanity for that.
ただの兵器。
Well said, B.
なぜそこまでこいつに硬いです。
Because Naruto's a beast.
拳を合わせても読めなくなっちまったのか。プラザ今回もろくなのがいなさそうだな。
Is that Al?
この中で B の名を受け継ぐのはたった一人だ。
Title B.
ライカゲ候補だ。ライカゲにタッグを組ませることになっているのは知っているな。ライカゲの力を最大限に引き出す傍ら、
Dude, B was considerably younger than the Raikage.
A とお前らの相性を順に見る。ゴム人形の首を A と一緒にダブルラリアットで跳ねてもらう。これは左右から同じ力を加えなければ切れない仕組みになっている。片方が強すぎたり弱すぎた場合、切れずに曲がる。まずは A と拳を当て、押し合いからの平均を決めろ。これから人形にダブルラリアットだ。
So I mean, right now he's not the Raikage, but the current Raikage's name is I?
よろしくお願いします。
A-Y? I mean, how do they expect any of these kids to be able to do this?
今回も見つかりそうにありません。
の兄弟がいればこんなことをせずに済んだのだがな。ライカゲ様見つかったようだな。
Geeky, bro.
少し変わったやつだな。もう一度拳を突き出してみろ。
Is this where it started? His fist bumps? So they're not technically related. Brother!
いっぱい食え。さっさとでかくならなきゃ力が釣り合わねえからな。今回は巻物の奪還任務だ。お前まさかそれ。
This is the former Jinchuriki, right?
どうかな。
おそらく俺の次は8尾の陣中力はこの子。お前は上層部からそう聞いているんじゃ。
いや、まだ何も。
俺の親父もおじさんも皆失敗した。おそらく俺も適合できていない。いとことして俺の。
だが今こうして8尾をここまで抑え込みコントロールを。
いいから聞け。陣中力になった者しか今まで普通に付き合いがあった人々の目が変わる。相手は普段通り接しているつもりだろうが、そうじゃないのが分かってくる。見返りもなく自分の歩く先が見えない場所へ向かっていく恐怖と孤独。適合できたのかどうか、死を隣で感じながら俺らにとらわれ、来る日も来る日も考え、自分が何なのか分からなくなってくる。心に穴が開いた気がする。移住はその弱った心を狙い暴走を仕掛けてくる。死ぬ恐怖ばかり考えて死にたくなる。
Damn, dude, that's really sad.
お前は忍術センスも能力も血統も人徳も全てを持ってる。
Yeah, that's super important.
法理的に8尾の人中力として選ばれる。
And he's strong spirit too,
本当に必要なものはそんな
not just skills.
じゃあ何なんだ。
この心の穴を埋められる何かだ。
何かって何なんだ。
何かそれさえ見つかれば強くいられる気がする。いいにはそれを見つけさせ。
Yeah, whether that's friends, family, expression, something that fills your cup, man.
今回の暴走で8人が犠牲になった。ビビより扱いが難しいらしい。
So is that how it works? Gets harder and harder as the more tails come in?
では確かあの子。
かなり名誉情報だからあんた証拠ウィー
ダメそうね。
Little do you know.
このガキよくも仲間をどこまでも舐めやがって。
行くぞ B。
オッケーブラザー
B このガキがってことはお前らがあの AB コンビか。
なら俺たちの技も知ってるってことか。
Your head's about to feel it.
まだまだ俺の理想とするダブルラリアットになってない。今俺がお前の力に合わせてるだけだ。
Yeah, of course.
をつけろよ。
分かってるよバカ野郎この野郎あブラザーを追い抜くその立場で抜く抜く
この技は力を均等にするのがコツだぞ。そしたらお前が合わせるんだよ。
俺にとってはそれが理想上から
That's funny.
そんな妄想はラリアットを鍛えてからだ。B に8尾を封印する。ああ
心の穴を埋められる何かだ。それさえ見つかれば強くいられる気がする。B にはそれを見つけさせてやれ。
なんだブラザー
お前はこれから人中力になる。だから先は今までのようにはいかん。大変なことばかり。
ああそうなのってなもんよ前からタコにあだ名でもつけてやるぜラップ
いいか B、 何かあったら隠さず俺に言え。俺にとって特別な存在だ。俺たちは最強のタッグだ。
Yeah, man. Something to fill.
鉄鋼封印とはいえそろそろ8尾が暴走してもおかしくない頃だぞ。
根に見張っておかなければ。
8尾がサビのキラー B だぜ俺様が。
Yes. No kidding. We get to see this.
なら逃げるって相場が決まってるぞ。
こいつが9尾奪取任務を一人で阻止した忍びか。
あなたが雲がける3代目ライカゲの実施機関棒の A です。噂ではかなりの早技。
ブラザーと俺がいるならやれるぜバカ野郎この野郎。
Dude, this is so sick. I love this.
俺がやる。
Speed versus speed, man.
俺の最速をかわしただと。
Yep, and can come right back too.
これは
すまん B、 大丈夫か。
もしかして8尾の人中力か。
撤退の合図だ。港ここは一旦引くぞ。
こんなもんへでもないキラー B だぜ俺様。
素晴らしき武勇です。8尾の人中力としてではなく一忍びとして
Hmm.
強いものをお持ちのようだ。
He can sense the spirit within him.
才能なら俺以上だ。
もっと大切なものをすでに持ってる。ええ、あなたにはいい身内がいる。
It's A, not I. A.
とにかく次に会うと被害に影の名をかけたものになるでしょう。弟さんにとって大切なものが何なのか、あなたが早く気づかなければ彼は人中力でも人でもなくなります。
逃がしはせんぞ。春心の術で飛ぶのは区内の場所だ。区内の場所はほぼ把握した。次にどれかの区内のところに現れると決まっているならそこでやれる。
俺もいろいろ背負ってるものがあるから失敗はし。
Dude, he got his ass. Dude, Minato's always a step ahead, bro. It's so sick.
相打ちなら覚悟差し合うか。そう
敵だけど君は気に入ったよ。まさに忍びキラーな動きだよ。
Love those flashbacks, man. That was really, really good. So I wonder if B has that something that's precious to him. Is that A, is that you know, his rap or expression? Like from that conversation, it seemed like Minato was kind of point out that he does have it, but that they need to be like he was kind of warning that he needs to like foster that or nurture that to make sure that he doesn't fall into the in-between of being a human and a Jinchuriki from, you know, all the kind of the discrimination that Jinchurikis meet from, or the prejudice that they kind of receive from the common folk, since they are kind of this weird in-between weapon almost, or person.
今のうちだくそやっぱ早えけどもう一回
早すぎて目で追えません
Yeah, dude. Oh, B.
お前のラリアットでわしに勝てると思っているのか。
B のおっちゃん
どうしてだ B。 わからねえのかブラザー。バカ野郎。
He's calm a fool. Oh, damn, Raikage, man. He's a force. You can see how torn Tsunade is.
諦めね
私をかばうなナルトもうやめろ
Mm-hmm.
え大丈夫だってばよ
もういいからどけ逃げろ
Dude, a classic moment here. The first Rasengan.
絶対死なねえからよ
Put your faith in him.
ばあちゃん
Dude.
影様出来のいい言い訳はできてるんだろうな。
もしここでナルトを殺しキュービ復活までの時間を延ばしたとしても命インチュー力がここまでキュービの力をコントロールできるとは思えん。分からぬ戦争なら力いっぱい出し惜しみなしでやるべきだ。私はナルトを生かせる。
ナイス言い訳言い訳じゃねえけどそれでこそ俺の知ってるほかげのばあちゃんだってばよ
様こそ勝手な自己判断じゃ。
Hey, she's just following your lead, brother.
どいつもこいつもという保証がある。
Maybe him defeating Pain?
ブラザー、ライカゲになってから俺の力を見誤ってるぜ。バカ野郎、この野郎。
三代目ライカゲ様がお亡くなりになろうと
ブラザーはどっち？あっち？こっち？いきなり壁を殴り崩して外へ出て行きよった。壁の穴が開いとるはずじゃ。そこを通っ
Always punching holes.
Alright 俺はブラザーを探して穴を通る Right しっかりしろブラザー今日からライカゲはブラザー分かっている今は戦争中だ俺がライカゲとして里と国を守り抜くそれが親父の意志だ B お前は今日より雲来峡に入り美獣玉の訓練をしろお前を敵には接触させん
This is when you start isolating him.
ラリアットはお前のラリアットはもういい攻め入ってきた時は里から出ず銃弾を使って蹴散らせお前は二度と里から出るな
Dude, that sucks, bro.
お前もナルトも大切な人中力
This is exactly what Minato warned him of.
だからこそ行かせんと言ってるんだいくら強い人中力といえど全て暁封印されたのだぞ負けやしねえ自身それが分かっている俺たち自身よかろう試してみろわしのラリアットとどちらが上か
Do it, B.
まだまだ俺の理想とするダブルラリアットになってない今俺がお前の力に合わせてるだけだもっと力をつけろよ
その立場でぬくぬく上から目線でブラザーに説教を申そう
Come on, B. Yes! Let's go, dude.
俺もナルトも人中力だけが力じゃねえからだが入ってるこの体ブラザーからもらった俺個人として捨てられねえ言葉強くいられると信じられること
Yeah, about him being his brother, right?
何さえ見つかれば強くいられる気がするいいにはそれを見つけさせてやれ
He did let him find it for a bit, but then he got scared after he became Raikage. Too conservative.
最強のタッグだ真実の立ちの前で言ったあの言葉がやっと気づいたか バカ野郎この野郎上から目線でブラザーに説教あいいえ
チャクラまで真似る白絶という敵の変化の術にそんな術を見抜く方法が
この資料でもない
Yeah, it's tough to counter.
ここを任された以上この件はこっちで処理さりにはナルトとビードのを止めてもらうことに専念してもらう
See how that's going.
綱出様はもう
早く解決策を立案しなければならん集中させてくれ
Can Naruto perceive it maybe with this nine-tail form he's in?
お前は俺にとって特別な存在俺たちは最強のタッグだとあれだけたったあれだけの言葉で強くいられるというのか里や国にとっての俺だけじゃねえブラザーにとっての俺だ
Hmm.
ブラザーは俺を守ろうとするあまりの気遣い力を信じなくなっていった毎回人中力になればいろいろなもんなくして心ガリガリなくしたくないもんが光って見えてくる心ピカピカ力のことじゃねえOK が入る前に入ってたもんが光り出したら太陽ぐらいでかかったと気づく大事、力の元だと気づく大筋俺は8秒唯一コントロールできたと確信ナルトの中にもその太陽がある
Aw, I love that.
2つもあるのが確信
Two of them.
そうだな確かに太陽みたいなもんかもしんねえ
渦巻きナルトお前のその2つの太陽とは何だ
父ちゃんと母ちゃんだ
父と母4代目ホカゲと渦巻きクシナかしかしお前が生まれてすぐに2人は死んだはずだ
キュービチャクラのコントロール修行の時
Yep. Sure did, man.
ナルトがペイン戦でキュービ化しかけた時も封印の十式に仕掛けを施していたミナトが出てきて自分を助けたと言っていたなただでは死なん男だとは思ったがこのキュービの力を手に入れる時父ちゃんはちゃんと母ちゃんに合わせてくれたキュービの封印を開くと母ちゃんが俺に会いに来るよチャクラを仕込んどいてくれたんだってばよ俺のために渦巻き一族特有の4代目ホカゲそれにクシナのあの強いチャクラと生命力あながち嘘でもなかろうやはりな母ちゃんが全部教えてくれた面の男とやり合ってて確信したことが2つあるってこの面の男がこの先必ず災いをもたらすってそれを止めんのが人中力としてキュービの力をコントロールした俺なんだって面を
The chosen one.
マダラのことかいあのこのキュービ事件はマダラの仕業だったのかミナトがナルトにキュービを封印しその封印を開ける鍵まで残したこのためだったのか確かにあいつは無駄なことをしないやつだったマダラが強く脅威であると判断した
Mm-hmm. Not just to them, to the whole world.
コントロールしたものでなければ倒せるような敵ではないと
Just like the old times with the first.
お前に全てを託したということか己が救世主ではなかったと父ちゃんが自分のことを救世主と思ってたかどうかは分かんねえ俺の師匠は父ちゃんを予言の子救世主だって言ったさっき言ったことを覚えているかこの救世主ミナトは死んだこれは失敗でなかったとお前は言うのか
No, he passed down his will.
確かに父ちゃんは死んだ
Death is not always failure.
木の葉の里を守り抜いて俺を守り抜いてほんの一瞬だったけどその時に二人が俺にくれたすんげえいっぱいのもんがやりきれるんだって俺を信じさせてくれる救世主も俺に託したんだ
Their trust in him.
ナルト敵の目的を先延ばしすれば今度は必ずキュービを取られるぞこそ世界が終わるナルトだからキュービの力をコントロールできたミナトがそう信じた通りナルトを生かせることが忍びをみんなを守ることになる私はナルトにかける
Yeah. Where you gonna put your bet?
俺もだぜバカ野郎この野郎ブラザーの言う通り大バカだやっぱりここにいるナルトも大バカで間違いない
Two fools, but there are fools.
大きさを顧みない大バカで間違いないヤッホー
No, really?
ナルトを殺す気なのか不測の事態
相変わらずの機関棒だ今度は私も参戦するばあちゃんを巻き込むわけにはいかね
え行くぞナルト
えいろいろ託されてるもんがあっから
Fist pump? Nope. I was hoping maybe for a little twist. Ah, he's stubborn.
敗はしね
いろいろ背負ってるものがあるから失敗はしないよ。
かわした。
Or he's just kind of just testing to make sure he can beat him too.
え。黄色い線香。合鍵のおっちゃんの言う通り、救世主じゃなくなっちまう。だから絶対失敗しねえ。父ちゃんがそうしたように、救世主の父ちゃんから学んだように。
わしなりに確かめたくてな。
Yeah.
私の
Nice.
対策パンチをかわしたのはお前で2人目だ。どうやら救世主は生きている。
Yeah, dude, it's been passed down.
行ってこい。
Let's go, dude. Love it.
やはりこれしかない。キュービチャクラモード時のナルトは敵の悪意を感知でき、
Yeah, so it is.
その変化の術も見抜けるはずだ。真の使えるナルトなら各戦場へ出向き、
Can he use the shadow clones in that form that I thought he wasn't supposed to?
もう取り返しのつかぬ状態になる。
そもそもライカゲ様がそんなことを許すとは到底
You'd be surprised.
それがそうでもないみたいでした。
Wow, look at the moon. The ghetto statue under it, dude. Why is this so cool?
こいつらの目もそろそろ馴染む頃だな。人中力を使った新たなペイン陸道。俺好みに変え
Wait, he's gonna use the Jinchuriki. Oh my... Bro, how are they gonna deal with this? They couldn't even deal with Nagato when he was freaking just using regular pains, dude. Let alone freaking Jinchuriki, dude. Guys, what the fuck? Y'all really like that though. Talking about kind of continued themes with the whole shinobi using people as tools and kind of sacrificing their humanity. You know, you get that especially with the Jinchuriki, and you know, they're literally being transformed into this half human, half tool being by nature. Their nature just changes, but the whole like importance of having something to fill your spirit that gives you strength as a human, not just as a tool, but as a human, as a shinobi, is so important. And the nature of people to just view them as tools really takes away that power. You know, you see that with the Raikage getting too conservative, maybe a little fearful about his duty as the Raikage to protect the Cloud Village, but instead sacrifices his belief in B's ability to be strong and B's strength and B as a human strength, not and as a shinobi strength, not just as a Jinchuriki. Really like that we explored that with B and Naruto here. I think, yeah, it's such a consistent theme within Naruto as a whole, but I love seeing it with not just like Naruto himself, like we've seen, but with B too. Such similar experiences. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get in the review section for 282 and 283. Really enjoyed the flashbacks in these episodes. Honestly, not quite what I was expecting. I think, you know, in the past few episodes, I've been theorizing that maybe the Raikage and Tsunade coming would be more shifted to helping Naruto and B face Madara, who, you know, would likely be trying to go after the Jinchuriki at this point, considering that they've come out of hiding. But pleasantly surprised with the confrontation here and fleshing out a few characters. Really enjoyed the focus on B and I are getting, or not I, A, right? A. Really enjoyed the focus on their characters and learning a lot more about their history, that they're not blood brothers. Surprising, because they do look a lot alike. You know, we had heard about this kind of that each Raikage is paired up with a Jinchuriki usually to kind of be their right hand man or like bodyguard almost. But even B's name, it's a title that's passed to the person who is paired with the Raikage to like be their brother to protect them. I thought that was really interesting, and just seeing the brothership that they built together despite not being blood brothers, it makes their relationship even better in my opinion. And I really enjoyed seeing how their relationship changed over time as A had to take on the duty of the Raikage. Really, really interesting, and directly connects to the present conflict at play. I thought it was a really good use of flashbacks here. showing how B's experience with A kind of, especially over time as A became the Raikage, directly relates to the Raikage's control in this situation, or the attempt for control, kind of that black and white controlling authority that he's trying to have here to protect the Jinchuriki. You know, on paper, it's a valid strategy and it makes sense, but there's so much more to leadership and relationships than just protecting somebody. It's empowering them too. It's believing in them so you can empower them. And we see that directly challenged here for the Raikage from B and Naruto, and eventually Tsunade as well. You know, I think the conflict that kind of initiates with A claiming that Naruto's father, Minato, was a failure. He failed to be the savior of the world because he died in that conflict with Madara and the Nine Tails. And he has this notion that that means failure, but it's challenged directly from Naruto, where he describes what they passed down to him. You know, even if you look at that moment for Minato tangibly, he was meticulous with and intentional with sacrificing himself. It wasn't a play that was just for Naruto himself, although that was a huge motivation for him as a parent, but also to protect the village and the world from Madara, right? He knew that this was going to be a continued threat and he needed to empower somebody to be able to deal with it, you know, after he's gone here. And that's where he passes down to Naruto, is that duty to take on Madara, to control the Nine Tail, to become a perfect Jinchuriki. You know, they empower him, and Kushina empower Naruto with so much love and faith and belief that, you know, it fills Naruto up like two suns, right? The brightness from that, the level of resolve that can build in someone, you know? And when you look at it that way, where you see Naruto now controlling the Nine Tail, maybe not perfectly, but more than anyone has ever done, it seems, at least as a Jinchuriki, you know, you see that faith in play. You see that how it wasn't a failure. It was just a, you know, the next step to be the savior. It was setting Naruto up for success. And I really love how this ties to what A learned about Jinchurikis from the previous eight-tailed Jinchuriki, about needing something to fill them up from the loneliness and isolation that you experience when you become a Jinchuriki, from the prejudice of others, the way they treat you differently, the way that shinobi villages treat them more as a weapon or a tool, and the consequences of that, like isolating them, protecting them too much, you know, being controlling about their actions. That leaves emptiness. And what makes a Jinchuriki strong isn't the ninjutsu techniques, the natural talents, like A points out about the previous Jinchuriki for the Eight Tails. You know, he had all that, but he didn't have probably enough of that, something to fill his spirit, to give him meaning when he is, you know, feeling isolated. And because that you can't, you know, the actual tail beast feeds on that insecurity or that hatred, for example, and it becomes difficult to control it. I love that it's the previous Eight Tail that says that to A, or the Raikage. And even despite learning that, A still fails with B. And he even gets it from Minato too. Minato, when he fights them, calls out, hey, you know, you have a fine shinobi here, not because he's an Eight Tail or a Jinchuriki, or because he's got necessarily because he has some control over it, but because he has spirit to him, he has meaning to him, he has a son within him. You know, he calls it family. You have a fine family. It's about that bond, right? And we know that's the case for Naruto with Minato and his mother, but also from his bonds with Kakashi and Sakura. You know, we learn so much about how much that helped Naruto's resolve and focus and all these things to become stronger. You know, protecting something that's precious to you, that is such a key theme here. And a lot of times that's bonds for most people, and it's no different for B. It was A's relationship with him, his closeness with him, you know, the moment that they bump fists and A says that B is special to him and that he wants him to tell him anything, anytime. that's like faith and trust, right? That empowers B. But then you see that morph over time from the pain of the Raikage or of A losing his father and becoming the Raikage, inheriting all this duty to, you know, protect the village and make decisions for the village. It's super easy to then start viewing B as just a Jinchuriki and the tool he is versus, you know, the person he is. And because that he's isolated for so long, overprotecting, overbearing kind of mentality. And I love how B calls him out in this episode and makes a face that he has underestimated B's power. He hasn't empowered him enough. And that directly relates to Naruto now trying to, you know, take on the duty of, you know, what his parents have handed down to him, what Nagato has handed down to him to, you know, end this cycle of hatred and take responsibility over the pain of this war. Once again, on paper, it makes sense that the Raikage and the Alliance would want to hide them in general, but there's this really important layer underneath all that the author is really trying to point through is like, you can't just always make decisions off of protecting people or what rationally makes sense. There is some level of emotional nurturing that needs to be considered to bring the best out of people, and probably for your nation too, especially for a Jinchuriki that's like, you know, supposed to be part of your power. If you're hiding that away, you're just scared, right? It's more fear than faith. And yeah, it's such an important thing to have faith. That's been such a strong theme in this story as well. And it's interesting because it's not like the Raikage doesn't have faith in his subordinates. You know, we saw recently with Daruri that he called him his other right hand, right? He's got another person and he put his faith and belief in him that empowers Daruri. But he hasn't done the same for B. He hasn't been doing it for Naruto now. And it's really great to see that kind of confrontation from B to facilitate the, you know, A actually kind of realizing maybe the wrongdoings of himself. And I love how it ends too with, you know, seemingly the Raikage seeming to be stubborn still, but really is just trying to challenge Naruto to show him that he really has fully inherited the power from his parents, that from that faith and the entrustment that they passed down to him, that he actually has, you know, manifested a lot of power and strength from that. And we see him surpass the speed of the Raikage, and I think even the Yellow Flash, they say, even of Minato. So, you know, we see Naruto prove himself here to prove that these two sons, this metaphor for his parents and their love and faith for him, has paid off, and that shows to the Raikage and proves to Raikage that there's something more than just hiding them away, and he needs to put their faith in his most powerful assets here, the most powerful people. Even if you view them as assets, as tools, you want to bring the best out of those tools, and part of that is their humanity, their spirit. So really loved kind of how this, you know, harped on a lot of themes that have been continued on with Naruto. You know, it's something that I've been not worried about, but I've been wanting to make sure that the author had kind of like continues these themes, especially around the cycle of hatred and how it connects to a lot of these other parts of the story. You know, it playing out in the war here and even internally within the Shinobi Alliance, I think is really great. Keeps the consistency there for the audience. So let's go ahead and do the character ratings. For MVP, I'm going to give it to B, man. I really respected B standing up to A. I really expected him kind of like offering his own life instead of Naruto's when the Raikage was like planning to take out Naruto to kind of delay the Nine Tails being captured by Madara. You know, B really puts his life on the line, and I don't know, there's just so much respect for someone like B in that situation, especially considering the backstory. Again, I loved getting the backstory, seeing B in that too. Yeah, y'all, B's really interesting because when we first met him, I thought it was just gonna be another Jinchuriki who the Akatsuki was gonna deal with just like that. But lo and behold, he's actually a really crucial character, and I love that. He's super important for Naruto and the story as a whole. So I'm loving that he's playing a crucial point at this point in the story still. For the best moment, I'm gonna give it to the Raikage or letting Naruto pass. Changing his mind. You know, it's someone who's very stubborn and has a lot of strength to him, and we see that in the flashback with B, how empowering he was, but has, you know, lost his way because of the duty as a leader of the Cloud Village and now the Shinobi Alliance. And I honestly can't blame him. I think it's probably a really challenging thing as a leader. You want to protect the people that you care about, but there's a level of fear that's coming from versus faith, you know. And I thought it was beautiful that A was able to put that, you know, to change here, to become aware of his wrongdoings here, especially through B. I think B is the catalyst for that 100%. Funniest character we'll give to B. He was great in the flashbacks and also with Tsunade. And for the Sako, I'll give it to A too, just because of how stubborn he was. But, you know, it's not really a slam on him or anything. Like I said, I understand someone in that position feeling that way, wanting control. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing as a leader, but we'll give him the Sako because he did fail at it for a very long time. I especially feel bad for B, considering that he had to, you know, he's been isolated for a very long time. From the moment that he became Raikage, or A became the Raikage, he, you know, sent him out to that isolated island, right? So yeah, man. But yeah, really enjoyed this, y'all. I hope you all got a lot out of this one. Enjoyed the reaction in the review section. Let me know what y'all's favorite moment was, what y'all thought of the character ratings. I appreciate y'all joining me today, and I'll catch you for the next episodes. Peace.